Thank you for joining us. This is Paul Wilson.
And Chris Emke.
And you're listening to the Diesel Performance Podcast.
Paul, I just want to stop a second, cut you off. This is the first recording that we have in our new podcast studio.
Yes.
In our new building.
Yes.
And it already sounds amazing. Like just on the headphones, man, I love it.
Yeah, so listeners probably don't know, we've moved around the podcast location where we actually record. This is our fifth iteration of where we're set up to record. So we've done it from people's offices, literally sitting at their desk.
Then we had our own studio for about a year.
Yep, which was a really nice room. And then we moved that location over to our main building, but that was when production would be a little mediocre as far as the quality, I would say. Yeah.
Because you could hear like a big giant air compressor from time to time, or maybe if you guys listen back to some of the other episodes, you'll hear dyno passes while we were recording,
or doors opening, or people yelling to each other,
boxes getting broken in half.
Right. So we've had some interruptions. So now Duramax Tuner Calibrated Power, our home and title sponsors, they have moved. They've got a new location. They're about to actually move the staff over here.
We're a couple weeks away from our new location, the new facility, which all of our listeners, I'm sure there'll be photos and things like that for everyone to kind of take a peek at, where we're going to be going every day. But we have our own dedicated studio once again. Yeah. Just for us.
Right.
Just for us.
I snagged an empty office pretty early in this project to say we really like that quality, and hopefully our listeners do too. Along with the new studio, we're going to kick off kind of an updated format. So we're not going to roll out the pre-recorded commercials, and we're not going to make the top of the shows or each one of the segments just a commercial for our sponsors anymore. So what we really want to do is we want to provide great diesel quality content. Yeah. So to do that, one of the things Duramax Tuner is doing is they're kicking off truck profiles, and we're going to give our listeners an inside look and a heads up. They're going to get to hear about the truck on the podcast first before Duramax Tuner launches the actual videos.
Okay, cool.
So the first one we're doing, Chris, you know this truck. It's the 06 2500 heavy-duty Ram over at the shop right now.
Yeah, so we one of the many shop trucks testing pieces of equipment, but it's a 06 Ram 2500. Like you said, it's a crew cab short bed, has a 5.9 Cummins motor in it, built motor, of course, one of those work truck, lived a long aggressive life, so it needed some updating, if you will.
Sure.
So it's just a standard stock crank Carrillo rod, like 20 over piston motor, main studs, head studs, valve springs, push rods, very basic 5.9 common rail build.
But with that, we matched it up with our third gen Stealth 67 turbo.
Yep. So we've used that truck as kind of like a test bed to really lean on the Stealth line, and the new 67 for the 5.9. That's been the platform to kind of see what its capabilities are. It has 100 over Exergy injectors. It has a 12 millimeter Exergy CP3 pump, so it just runs one pump on that truck.
Now, we built the trans in-house for that one. We modeled the build after what some other industry leaders had been using for about an 800 to 1,000 horsepower build. Where do we spec that trans at?
It's an 800 to 1,000 horsepower. There's no secret. When we do any of the 47, 48 stuff, we work with Levon over at Firepunk. Yeah. So he provided us all the components needed to build the trans. Then we had DJ Wysack, our head shop guy and trans builder, build a trans. So it's your billet input, output, intermediate shaft, Firepunk's clutches and steels, DPC triple disc converter in that, all the goodies.
Yeah.
But again, simplicity once
I love how you downplay it, just all the goodies. It's a great transmission, man. We've been excited that it's held up to the type of abuse we've been putting it through. Yeah. Our producer Justin and I got some footage of the dyno guy running the truck on the street the other day. Yeah. And I say running the truck, I mean 120 mile an hour burnouts next to the shop. But yeah, it gets down. This truck fucking moves. And those WC Fab traction bars help hold that axle and the ass end together. And then, of course, also we got a fast 165 on there. Now, I know this truck, I don't think we're releasing the final peak number we made on the dyno just because it was a crazy, stupid tune on there, but we did comfortably say it was over 800 horsepower, over 1,700 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, tuning the truck on the street, Nick kind of let me dabble and play with it some more, and kind of a lot of fun there, and then we spent about a day and a half on the dyno just trying little things here and there, but it's safe to say from a reliable, respectable scenario, 800 wheel, 17, almost eclipsing 1,800 foot-pounds of torque on a stock appearing, HE 350 or 341 now. Yeah, I mean, it's a 750, 800 horsepower turbocharger, from a reliable